Whistling is something most of us do without giving it much thought, but there is one Montrealer who takes whistling very seriously. Katie Malik reports.
I'll count to 5, and as soon as I finish counting 5, then I'll repeat 1, 2, 3, now.
This is what Dr. Jack Cohen does for a living. He's a plastic surgeon with a busy schedule, 2 hospital affiliations and a thriving private practice. But busy as he is, Dr. Jack always makes time for his second vocation. Jack Cohen is a great classical whistler. He's whistled for as long as he can remember, but he didn't take it seriously until he was in his early 30s. Since then, he's won at the big whistling competitions in Nevada and North Carolina, and he's performing more and more frequently here at home. But it's been an uphill struggle. Let's face it, most people find it hard to take whistling seriously.
Anytime I've had a performance, I've really gone out of my way to make sure I'll be as perfect as I can. In other words, I won't stint on starting a few weeks before to rehearse the material. Because I feel because most people come a little skeptical to a performance, if I did flub it or make some mistakes, they would say, well, I thought so, it sounded good. You know, people said classical whistler, but it really was not worth my while. It wasn't good. So I'm very, very careful because that's the prevailing attitude.
Whistlers have another disadvantage. It's so rare an art that there are no whistling teachers, so every whistler must develop his or her own style through trial and error. Sometimes Jack Cohen can't even explain the wonders that he's able to perform.
Some of us can even do double stops, which is 2 notes at once.
2 notes at once?
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that?
I haven't been able to figure it out, but I think somehow I must be getting an airstream above and below my tongue. It's the only way I can figure out it.
Well, you can do it, you just can't figure out how.
But I can't figure out how.
Having just heard you perform a couple of times now, our listeners will have detected that there is a lot of technique and a lot
But the tide of recognition is beginning to turn. Dr. Cohen's schedule now not only includes facelifts and live performances, but radio concerts and interviews as well. All of this has turned him into something of an authority on whistling. So naturally, he's got his own definition of what makes a good whistler.
If the tune is carried well, and if it makes you stop and want to listen, then I think there's your best criterion. If you want to hear more of it, then you know that you're listening to a good whistler.
Do you ever whistle at work?
It's hard to do. It's hard to whistle through the mask. It's not good technique, and it's hard to whistle. It fogs the glasses, and it sort of gets in the way. So it is difficult, but I always work to music, and if something that I really like comes on, I can't resist. I whistle a few notes or a few bars. Can't resist it.
For Newswatch, I'm Katie Malik.
You can hear Dr. Jack Cohen tonight on CBC Stereo's Arts National. He'll also be performing at Stewart Hall in Pointe Claire on Sunday, March the 9th. We'll be right back.